and welcome back to the channel. Today I am starting a new trip in a new country, Tirana here, the capital of Albania, where I'll be traveling around over the next few weeks and potentially more than a month. Let's see how things go. I'm very excited. This used to be one of the most secretive communist countries in the world for about 45 years, between the end of World War II and the fall of communism in the early 90s. And since then, the country has seen a lot of changes. And I'm just going to head out now in the capital city, here from my balcony, out onto the streets of Tirana for first views, having just landed not too long ago. The area that I'm in goes by the name of Bloku, which is B-L-L-O-K-U. Apparently, for a long time, this was only the living space or accessible to the government of Albania during its communist years, but since then and the fall of communism, it has opened up to everybody, and now it's a nice neighborhood and still one of, I guess, the most affluent in the city. One thing that really impressed me about Tirana when coming into land were the views of the mountains and the sunlight hitting the whole city yesterday from the window seat of the plane. And now just here, you can see more nice views from within the city where I'm standing now, of the mountains in the background and its nice stream behind with lush green all around, and then high apartment buildings to make up for it, just to remind you that you are in a capital city. Take a look at the traffic light. I have never seen one lit up vertically like that before. Albania has to win the coolest traffic lights award from all the countries that I've been to. They are incredible. Maybe there are some advantages to not being in the EU. You have your own sense of creativity. What is this? This should be adopted all over the world. I love it. I think a lot of people living in Western Europe, we don't really know a lot about Albania at all. It was such a mystery for generations older than me during those long years of communist rule, and then now it's open. It hasn't quite hit off like Croatia has, for example. Croatia is a bit more further north, but I think probably in the next decade or so, I'll make the prediction that Albania will be the #1 tourist spot in the Balkans. So I'm now approaching what is commonly known as the center of the city, its main meeting point, and it has a statue of Skanderberg. It's called Skanderberg Square. He was the one who led the rebellion against the Ottoman forces, and that is where a statue of one Uncle Joe, Joseph Stalin, once stood. It used to have traffic running all the way around it, but now it's pedestrianized and a much nicer place to take a stroll in the evening. Please keep off the grass sign, and a worn patch of grass with some kids playing football. Here is the statue close up. The square is partially closed today. There is a boxing match tomorrow night. Albanian Ervis Bici, I don't know how to say it, takes on Abdul Kasimi. And just on the other side of the statue behind me is the Beijing Mosque, one of the oldest buildings in the city. A lot of people in Albania either identify as Christian or Muslim, but in practice a lot of people are quite atheist in their ways. They don't go and pray, they dress very casually, they're just sort of religious by birth certificate, which is what I've read and what I've been told, but please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I believe it's only a minority that are actually quite religious, and the majority of Albanians don't take it too seriously. Continuing my evening's exploration by entering here into the new Bazaar, which used to be an old Ottoman era market but since has been renovated and turned into a modern market with a lot of places to pick up food, fresh groceries, vegetables, all that sort of stuff, or to actually dine here and eat at as well. Nuts, dried fruits, and some olives here, some different rakis here. The spirit of the Balkans. I'm sure I will try some at some point. Lots of families around in this interesting public square with some apartment buildings all around. Nice to see lots of people smiling. I'm beginning to get a little bit peckish, so I think some traditional Albanian food should be on the agenda. So let's see if we can hunt down anything interesting. So I'm now sat here in a restaurant called Oda, which has been recommended to me by a lot of people and various guides that I've seen already. And I've gone with the traditional Albanian food of home-cooked on the stove lamb. And I've also got eggplant stuffed with vegetables. So looking forward to trying it here in this incredible traditional setting, and lots of various old pictures, and the seating here, I love it. It's so authentic in this very cute, sort of very comfy room where I can imagine if you have a big group, get some wine and some raki, it would be a very, very good experience. Anyway, I'm going to dig in now. The stuffed aubergine is really delicious. The lamb here is just pulling off the bone. Full of flavour, tender. A lot of devotion has gone into the traditional way of cooking these dishes. If you want an authentic kind of cultural experience, then I'm sure Oda Restaurant here is the place for you. I'm sure I'll be tasting a lot of Albanian food over the next few weeks, but will it be better than this? That is the question. So I'm walking through the streets after finishing that dinner at Oda Restaurant. So good, the food. I'm pretty tired. I'm going to head back and get some rest before the next video. So I'll end things here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you join me on this trip of Albania. I'm hoping to go off the beaten path, meet more locals, more families, and have some really interesting experiences here in this little piece of Europe that hasn't been as covered as other countries. See you then.